Hello friends and welcome back to Electronic Box, the channel for gear reviews and most importantly for the honest opinion about some crappy electronics that are around us. My last video was called Controversy and today we slightly continue on this path because I will tell you everything that you need to know about RME. If you deal with professional audio, after years and years, you will reach a certain point where there will be only three main categories of sound cards for you. First, the most affordable, around 200-300 euro, that I will not cover simply because they don't worth it. The next category is around 500 to 1500 euro mark, and if you ask me if you have the budget, don't spend it on anything else than the following brands. They are Apogee, Universal Audio, and of course RME. I write this because I have tested more than a dozen of interfaces, and only those brands, let's say, fulfill almost all the boxes for me. For the first category, we will talk at the end, but let's go to the main topic, RME. As you know, when we hate here on the channel, we will go to black and white mode. So let's start. Friend of mine says that for me RME is a curse. Why? Because I bought 4 RME Babyface Pro cards. The last one being this Babyface Pro FS. You will ask, why the heck did you buy it 4 times? Good question. Well, I bought it first time around 3 years ago. Then the adventure began. When you buy Babyface Pro old version, to just have the signal to the headphones, it will take you around 20 minutes. If you are good. If you buy Apogee, you will need 2 minutes. That's a fact with me and 2 other guys that I have tested. At that point, I start to hate RME. After 30 minutes, things have changed dramatically. Why? Because I heard the sound of the RME. It sounds remarkable, outstanding and pure. That's a fact. And then came the next con. 2 headphone outputs with different impedance. What? And guess what? To be even more fun, they're controlled by a single fader. Yes, you never got the chance to hear the same signal to both headphone outputs. Terrible, right? What's next? Well, monitoring. There is one knob for headphones, mics, monitors, etc. Many times, by mistakes, my monitors were close to exploding, because this is far from being an intuitive interface. Anything else? Yep, although the card is made from aluminium, after a few hours the card becomes a lot hotter. It will not burn you, definitely, but it will make you worried. For me, most of those are not deal breakers at all. But the controversy is the thing that RME is super proud of, that are the drivers and the control panel are actually for me, and I believe for many other users, the only weak point of this device. RME call it a masterpiece. I call it the worst mixer in the world. When you learn how to use their mixer control panel and you leave the card for, let's say, 2 months, the next time when you see it, it will be like you see it for the very first time. It is so counterintuitive that I can't explain. Yes, I mentioned a learning curve, because if you don't read and learn, it doesn't matter how much experience you have, you will not be able to make it work. Now, you know why I hate it. And I sold it. I bought 2 cards from other brands. Total crap. And because I missed the RME sound, I bought it again. 6 months later, I sold the second one. But, like Shirley Bassey says, history repeating.
Just a little bit of history repeating.
And I bought one again. A month ago, a friend of mine wanted one RME and I said, well, this will be the last time. But just for fun and because I left without a good device, I have decided to buy this Babyface Pro FS latest version just to see if there is a difference, as RME team says, and to be able to make this video. What to say more? What is true is true. RME sound is extremely good. For me, after 4 interfaces that I hate, I still love their sound. The dynamic range, the converters, the buttons and part of the electronic and engineering are super high-end. And there is no question about it. But some things that RME can change super easy are left behind, and they still totally bugging me. Because I love to be honest in my reviews, it is fair to say that the bigger RME cards like UCX, UFX, etc. don't have all of those small cones, except for the mixer control panel that is called Total Mix Effects, by the way, and I think must be called Total Miss of any sense, but this is just my opinion. And now for the RME team. Hello engineering team, are you listening? Please buy Universal Audio interface and see their mixer control panel. Anything to say? Probably not. That's what I call a mixer. Easy, gorgeous and intuitive. See the 2 buttons, record with plugins or without. Now go to your mixer and make the difference. That's for the software part. Now about the hardware. Did you know Mackie? Their converters are not so good, but they had the best possible idea for the hardware with Big Knob Plus, super tactile feel, internal microphone for talkback, not 1 or 2 but 3 outputs for the monitors, and other easy to use buttons just will show you how the hardware of a modern interface must be done. Do you want another example? Okay, see Arturia Audio Fuse. Everything has its own knob and it is super intuitive. Yes, it's a bit ugly, but intuitive. And please add 2 faders for the 2 headphone outputs. And make them the same impedance, otherwise they're totally useless. And finally, please add an on-off button. Why? Well, all modern PCs have USB always on to charge your cell phone, and your card stays powered all the time. Stupid, isn't it? Remember, your entry-level devices will not go directly to Abbey Road Studio. They mostly will be used from average users. Again, I still use your cards every day simply because of their sound. It is flawless and remarkable. That was for the RME team. Now to wrap up this short video, all interfaces around 200-300 euro are bad, so avoid them. From 500 to 1500 euro mark, just use RME, Apogee and Universal Audio. And finally, the 4th category that we had mentioned at the beginning, the real big boys that are hard pill to swallow. But if you can afford it, to spend 5,000 to 7,000 euro, then you can look at Prism Sound or Lynx interfaces. Everyone who uses them will tell you that they are the Everest of the sound cards. Of course, if you can justify the cost. Okay friends, that's again what I call controversy. All thoughts in this video were my own after listening and using many other brands and sound cards. To make it even easier for you, if you need pure sound like no other for around 1,000 euro, RME is your best friend. If you need outstanding user experience and feedback, Universal Audio must be your first choice. If you need both in one unit, choose Apogee with superb sound and intuitive control panel, but there is a catch. Apogee, like Universal, are, let's say, Mac only. Yes, they have devices for Windows, but I totally doubted that they work reliably on Windows platform because it's new for them. While RME works solid and equal on all platforms, including iOS. Okay friends, I hope you found this video helpful and informative. If so, do not hesitate to subscribe to the channel and hit the thumbs up button. From me, Nico, be well, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.